Hey, Joe. Do you ever feel like the world's trying to send you a message? You hungry, Joe? Or maybe hundreds of messages all at once? We are, Joe. From buildings, banners and buses to big screens, small screens and even smaller screens, we're being fed all kinds of messages from news outlets, brands and our friends all the time. These things are what we know as media. Looking good, Joe.
It's the plural of medium, which means anything that can convey a message, including things like newspapers, radio, television, the internet, to video games, magazines, books, paintings, songs.
Even a fortune teller.
Your future will be influenced by media.
Yeah, probably. Because on average, Aussies spend anywhere from 1 to 6 hours each day interacting with one or multiple forms of media. And everything we see or hear in that media can influence our beliefs, change our attitudes, and shape our behaviours.
Your future involves paying me $20 for this reading.
Fine. That's why it's important to be media literate, which means to understand exactly what the media is telling you. But that's not as simple as it might seem. Take these ads, for example. What are they telling you?
Basically, Coke will make you happy, it was fun and everything.
Because they're just like both smiling, it looks like they're having a bit of fun.
Brightening, like trying to get you to buy it because it's really colourful.
That you can go for it as a family.
It looks like they're having a really good time.
And the green makes it healthy.
Because of the lettuce, it's green, to show the families that it's healthy.
See, media's power to persuade goes way beyond words, something advertisers have known for a long time.
In fact, it was way back in the early 1900s when advertisers noticed they could persuade us to want or think things by tapping into our emotions using things like attractive, credible or famous people, catchy slogans or powerful language, audio cues or music, and colours.
But these techniques aren't just for ads.
Persuasion is an art form, and what works in the media also works in political speeches, it works in boardrooms, it even works in the classroom.
We can even see some of these techniques in the news. Many news outlets use very similar colours, set design and presenters. What does it tell you?
Blue is the colour of professionals and trust, but also the kind of the bright lighting with a few dark shadows as well. It gives that air of professionalism.
There are all sorts of ways that the news can convey hidden meaning, sometimes on purpose and sometimes accidentally, whether through their choice of pictures, words, the people they talk to, or the stories they choose to publish.
Every day a journalist is going to have hundreds of different stories to choose from, and they're going to pick the ones that might suit maybe the flavour or the taste of the media companies. So we might have some that choose to emphasise sport and celebrities, while others look at things like crime and politics. And as you can imagine, the more you might consume of one of those particular flavours, it's going to start shaping your worldview.
And that's where we get to bias. Bias is our perception of the way things are or should be, even if it's not accurate. And it's something that can be hugely influenced by media. Maybe because we're always seeing the same sort of messages, or because those messages are presenting people, places or ideas in a certain way. Because the people creating media also have biases.
When we think about media bias, it's from the top down. It's not just the reporters at the base level, it's the owners as well. And they're going to have an agenda, they're going to have certain ambitions. They chose to buy a media company in the first place for a reason.
And we're not just talking about the news. All sorts of media can be biased for all sorts of reasons, like funding from advertisers or individuals, politics, or even just an individual's personal preference. But that's what media literacy is all about. It's learning to understand exactly what all this media is telling us, who's behind a message and why it's being communicated, and how it makes us feel and react. Still looking good, Joe. You have got to stop doing that.